Hey everybody, welcome back to Sam Savings. Today we're going to go over my net worth again for the end of October, beginning of November. So I calculated this all on, I think it was the 31st, yeah, like midnight. So we're going to go through and just look at everything. I've added some more columns over here, as you guys can see. Can't remember if this one is in the last video, but I definitely know I've added this retirement one and this net worth one here. So we'll go ahead and go through everything as it sits, or as it did sit a few days ago. So we'll just go line item by line item, and then we'll kind of go through it here. So checking account has 1,600 in it, which is, I think, a good amount. I'm thinking of maybe making 1,300 the new base, just to have a little bit of buffer in there, but we'll see. So basically just changing it from one paycheck to two, and then we'll go from there. The E-Fund, of course, it went down a little bit because I canceled my car. It's been like a month, but I'll explain more of that at the end of the video here. So that's at 75.17. Interesting about this is I actually did go to the bank when I had to pull out that money, and I went ahead and put 7,400 of it, I think it was 74.17, into some CDs. So they're earning, I think, 4.85%, which isn't much, but it's better than it sitting in there idly not doing anything. So I went ahead and did that. Let's see, savings is at 1,500, which is good. So that went up. The investment fund went down a little bit. That's just from changes in the market. I didn't do anything to it. So 19,413. Roth went down a little bit. Again, the market is just being the market. Oh yeah, I've added more. So the Roth 401k, I've started putting into that. That was, I think, the first or second week of October I started doing that. So I'm able to contribute, I think it's $23,000 a year, which I'm not going to be doing because I'm not a psychopath for retirement. But my company matches 3% of 3% and then 4% of 5. So it's 100% of the first 3 and then 50% of the next 2. So I'm investing 5% into that right now. I have to be there a year to get the matches, which comes up in 3 months. So at the end of January, that will start also having the match put in with it, which is super exciting because that's 9% total into the 401k, which is nice. But I've started putting in that just to make sure I knew how it worked and everything. Next one here is Zero. That's the ESPP. This is coming out in November. I think it's on the 8th that starts, and I can put up to 10% of my income in that, which I'm planning on maxing out. These are gross, by the way, so 5% for the Roth is gross, and 10% is gross income for the ESPP. And basically they do 2 offering periods a year, and you're able to put 10% of your income in, and at the end of those 6 months, they buy a bunch of stock with a 10% discount. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but it hasn't opened yet. Next month there should be some in there. I'm not exactly sure how I can track the balance if it hasn't bought anything, but we'll figure it out. So the first 529 is actually up a little bit, 32.36, which is good. I started putting into a second one, so that's at 226.18. Alt Invest went up. I'm not sure I've put anything into this month because my card's been down. So I actually gained like $600 just chilling, which is nice. So that's at 8,000, which brings the total to 103,329.24, which I think is pretty good. Of course, this doesn't count cash on hands and things. I still have like a couple $100 in my wallet and whatnot, but I'm not going to be too rigorous about it. So that brings the total that I've saved this year, or my net worth I've grown this year, I should say, to 34,266.58, which is nice. I think I'm going to be able to increase my net worth by the same amount that I earn every year, which would be super cool. So if we see the amount I've invested, it's 86. So 86 grand out of this 103 has been invested, which is 83%. In retirement, so this includes the 401k and the Roth IRA, that's at 48,182, and that is 55% of the invested amount, so 55% of that 83%, and that's 46% of the total. So just under 50% in retirement, which I'm fine with. I'm trying to kind of front load it so I don't have to worry about it so much in my later years. And then I got net worth to income ratio, which is 2.41. So I currently earn, I think it's 42 grand a year. It's right around there, gross. Of course, it's a decent amount less after taxes. That being said, so my net worth to my gross income is 2.41%, which I think is pretty good. I know there's different places online that say you should have X amount saved, like 1 times income by the time you're 20, 2 times by 30. I don't know what it is, but I thought this would be a kind of a cool metric to follow, because it kind of lets me know, like, if I stopped working, how many years of total income would I have? So I'm at 2.41, which is really cool. Now, of course, this is going to grow exponentially with the retirement and all that. But yeah, I think that's it. The ESPP is going to start soon, which is cool. I'm probably going to move out relatively soon, so that'll be an expense, and obviously I'll have to kind of curtail some of my investing and whatnot, because I've been kind of shoving stuff away while I lived at home. Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's all I've been looking at so far. So that's it for the end of October here. But we gained $1,500. I lost like $1,500 in the market just like this past week, so I'm not too down on myself. I think next after the election, it should kind of like even out, and the market should kind of figure out what it's doing. I'm sure on election day it's going to be absolute trash because no one's going to know what's happening. But yeah, so that's how we're looking right now. My card. So my card, of course, had some fraud on it. I got that money back, which is good. But my banks have been transferring some stuff. They switched one of the sub banks they use that does with their credit stuff. So I actually do not have a debit card right now, which is how I kind of like track all this stuff. So I know they shipped it last week, so it should be here in a few days. So hopefully by next weekend, I'll have my card back and we can resume the normal budgeting stuff. If you guys want to know anything more about what I'm doing or how everything's looking, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next weekend.